bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do when they come for you? Hello. Hello, Alex. How are you? Oh, fuck. Is my mic even on? Yeah, it is. I'm just not this. I modded this yesterday, but the B wire came detached when I was putting it back together, so I'm gonna have to fix that. I was too lazy last night. It was like really late. There's some weird shit in the corner up here. Weird. Oh, there's some weird shit over here too. How weird. Oh shit! I totally forgot. I need to buy more alcohol, man. Fuck. MG chemicals. 199. Is that the right bottle? I can't tell. Shit. I think it is. That was pretty derpy of me. The portable charger just fell on the floor. I mean, if it's broken, it's good to know that it's a piece of shit. But whatever. It's not broken. Good. I have a little bit of the other alcohol left, I think. One sec, I have to go grab it. Here it is. Yeah, there's a bit left. There's enough anyway. Till the other one arrives. Let's just get this done. Actually, I wanted to test something. I didn't test if the Joy-Cons are working properly. One. Perfect. Two. Yeah, so it's just a B wire repair. Should be quick and easy. The guy that bought this, his name on Discord's Peanut. I just put names on them so they're memorable. Yeah. He's in that Discord server, actually. I actually have an OLED coming to me that a customer would like a refund on. And my thing with refunds is that if people want a refund, they have to send it back to me, and then I sell it to someone else, and then I give them the money. But I'll have an OLED available. It'll probably be pretty easy to sell, but if you know anyone that would want one, it's going to be same price as normal, but it'll be available immediately for shipping. Like if it shipped same day or next day. If you know anyone that'd be interested, let me know. I think that's around 470 Canadian. I forget exactly. If the guy paid less, I'd even sell it. I'd sell it for pretty much exactly whatever he paid, pretty much. It would, which would have been through Etsy. I don't know, through Etsy, and because he paid through Etsy, it's probably quite a bit actually. So he probably paid more than that. I don't know if I'll be able to refund him the tax and stuff. Probably not, I'm guessing. But yeah, I'll just sell it for my normal price, which would be 470 Canadian for the tablet, and then shipping is probably another 20 to 30 bucks or whatever. But yeah. Imagine it won't be too hard to sell once it's here. But yeah. Oh my balls. Screwdriver slipped there and jabbed the PCB. I mean the ribbon cable for this. It looks like it's okay. Looks fine, but I'm not sure. I'll give it a quick little jabby poo. That's for sure. Looks fine though. It'd be an easy fix if it is broken, but hopefully it's not. Okay. Okay. I'm guessing this one will be wrong. Yeah, looks like it. And then this is good, 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 good. Yep, just as I expected. Okay. Let's look over here. Let's go ahead and clean that up. Okay, looks good now. For the most part. Wait. Okay, looks fine. Now, get some flux down. And now, let's get the iron on. Let's go up to like 330 or 340 actually. I think that's fine. Let's use some solder paste. And tweezers are here. And let's go ahead and grab the wire and move it down here. Fuck. Fuck, this flux turns a little goopy and shit so fast. Fuck. I'm not even at like a really high temp or anything. Like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Ugh. Oh, fucking bitch. Totally came off. I think I might just have to make a slightly bigger wire, which sucks. Yeah, I think I'll just have to do that. Whatever, it's not that much work. I was hoping I could use that one. I thought it was like maybe just big enough, but nope. Actually, I have some other wires right here. Actually, I can use. Let's make them smaller. We need it like ultra tiny. Go for like that big, probably. And let's see. Yeah, that should be actually too big, but that's fine. Let's see. Okay, should be able to just put that on now. That side's good. Okay. And let's see, is it a good size? So it should work. I think I could be a little tiny bit smaller, really, to be ideal. Let's see now. I don't want there to be like a big bend in it like that. Yeah, because it could go another little bit at least. Like, I think that'll be perfect. Oh, did I make it too small again? Oh my god, I'm literally the worst at this. I'm actually the worst. Yeah, I did it again. Oh my god, I'm actually the worst. Okay, we'll do it again. So we want it just a tiny bit bigger than. Okay. This is a bit too big again. So let's just shave off an eye. I think this will work fine. Oh. Okay, let's do it again. Okay. This one's a decent size. I think that's good. It kind of wants to come off, but oh shit, don't want to melt that thing. I don't know, it kind of wants to come off. I feel like it needs more flux. Oh, that's too much, probably. Fuck. That's fine. Fuck. What do we think of that? What do we think of that? I feel like it still could be better. Fuck, without it being in the light, it's so hard at this angle. What? That's perfect, I think. I don't think it's gonna get any better than that. Yeah, say less. Good enough for me. Message him right now. Yeah, let's test it before I do all that. Still working. I had a feeling it would. I think that was a pretty good one. That was like perfect, really. Perfect. Okay, good. Where is my micro SDs? Here's some. Do I even have a 256? I don't think so. Fuck. I think I have to order even more. Yeah. Whatever then. That one's done for today.
Maxing on RuneScape takes thousands of hours. So who in their right mind would risk their maxed account by botting on it after it's maxed? Well, these players. A tip-off comes in that there are bots rune crafting true blood runes on a 2,200 total world. Guess what? I'm a noob, so I don't have 2,200 total level. So I asked them to record it. Now these accounts are coming into the crafting guild, and the people who tipped me off have set up a cannon at the bank chest. As you can see, it looks like the accounts try to click on the bank but click on the cannon, and then they go back into a loop of teleporting out and running to the true blood ring crafting altar, and then back again, clicking on the cannon, back to the altar, which makes no sense. If it was a real player, they'd just right click the bank and move on, or at the very least, they wouldn't be running back to the altar without banking. One of them even has about 70 million runecrafting XP and is rank 300. In this particular clip, there are just 2 accounts that seem to be broken while runecrafting, but I've gotten tip-offs about lots of other maxed accounts or near maxed accounts botting on 2,200 total worlds. Some runecrafting raft runes, some doing other activities. I wasn't sent videos of them, so I'm not going to assume they're botting because it makes no sense. Do you think this is a botter buying maxed accounts and risking them with the theory they won't get banned? Or are people literally botting on their main accounts that have taken thousands of hours to create? What are these players thinking? A member of the anti-cheating team has confirmed all of the maxed accounts I sent are bots, and all of them except one, they said, was botting for basically just their main's benefit as far as the anti-cheating team could tell. Remember the bots I've been covering at the new Wilderness demi-bosses? Well, they're evolving and rapidly. I got a tip from someone named Nick that he had
That's
been noticing
insane.
bots with
Botting on a
now
maxed.
killing Vetion, the higher
That's
level variants in
insane.
multi in Deep Wildy. So I went to check it out, and a couple of the worlds I hopped to had accounts that instantly disappeared. Did you even see the account log out in that clip? I didn't at first, but when I put it into my recording software and went frame by frame, we're able to catch 1 frame of the account. And it definitely looks like it could be a bot given its gear. At first we were confused too because we thought the bot logged while it was in combat, but it looks like Vetion had just died so the bot could log out. But then after 10 minutes, I hopped into a world with an active fight. Look what I came across. 2 accounts dressed just like the bots at the demi-bosses I have previously found, killing Vetion together now since Vetion's in multi. So obviously I give chase to the bots. They're wearing monk robes, Vigora's chain mace, and a rune helm. And as soon as I attacked one, they both ran. Unfortunately, I splashed in Vetion's cave. It probably would have been an easy kill. They escaped through the tunnel, and due to my poor PKing ability, bad RNG, and their good programming, the one I attacked reached 30 wilderness and teleported out. But we have the usernames, and the stats are telling. The higher level one I wasn't attacking has
Vetion bot
2240
accounts.
Vetion
That's
AC,
interesting.
is
Maybe
rank
I'll try and kill
140.
Vetion
It also
bots.
has 1900 Calvarian kill count, rank 800, as well as 40 Ogre kill count. So a bot that started killing Obor in free-to-play, made it to pay-to-play, kills Calvarian, and then eventually moves up to Vetion. But what about
This was
the
a
other
year
account
ago,
I was
though,
attacking
damn.
that got away? It has 6,000 RTO kill count. It's rank 41, 47 Callisto kill count, and 44 Ober kills. Exact same pattern with a different wildy boss. But I found it helping this other bot at Vetion. That means there are probably bots at every higher level variant of wildy boss. And shout out to Nick, who's been helping me track them. He said that Greyhound 312 gained 1,500 Vetion kill count in 3 days. Including unique drops, the average Vetion kill count is 168k. So this bot is making 85 mil per day. 1 bot, 10 bots, 850 mil. Let me know if you see any of these bots at the higher level wilderness boss variants. This is a strange one. Tip comes in free-to-play worlds, there's an entire bot farm buying newspapers in the Varrock town center. So my immediate assumption was that, maybe newspapers are going for a couple hundred GP because nobody's taking the time to buy them. So I buy one. And the price checker says it's 1 GP. I go to the Grand Exchange. You can't even sell these things on the Grand Exchange. I had forgotten that. So what is this bot farm doing? There's one of these accounts on basically every free-to-play world. So I messaged the anti-cheating team over at Jagex and say, what's going on with this newspaper bot farm? It's not what I expected. First, the bot farm has collected a total of 159,822 newspapers. The bots mule off the newspapers, but then eventually they switch over to a different activity, which is buying oak logs and turning them into planks and selling them. So they're plank making bots. And the anti-cheating team said they suspect this activity is one of those random activities the botter is using to gain playtime on the bots while also doing something not that suspicious. But obviously this is pretty suspicious because who in their right mind is spending hours a day buying newspapers? Anyway, interesting tactic, but honestly it ended up getting the bot farm caught because it's such a bizarre activity. This tip kind of cracks me up. This guy was mining in free-to-play in the Dwarven mine, and accounts kept logging into mine, and then they would curse or say something very similar to other accounts that would log into mine. They'd be like, "You, damn it, man, seriously, FFS." And so he sent me screenshots of tons of accounts logging in and saying this to him, and he was like, "No way, they're players." So I went to the Dwarven mine in free-to-play, and most worlds have bots, but I looked up some of the accounts that were saying those things, and they actually have kind of high stats, like almost 70s combat stats, 60s fishing and woodcutting, and although I didn't see any bots talk, I started finding a lot of bots mining here with similar stats. I think someone has at least semi-successfully made an all-in-one free-to-play bot script that isn't being banned. Most of these accounts have like 750 total level from free-to-play botting, it seems like, if they're botting mining here. I also think they're bots because their gear patterns are the same. They wear a team cape and a rune full helm, and they all have very similar stats. Combat level 80s for free-to-play, so they're making it pretty far in-game without being banned. Something pretty strange is going on, and I'm not sure what the end goal of these accounts are. Very suspicious stuff happening in-game, though.
92%.
Something is going
I think his battery's a
horribly wrong
beast,
at the
man.
Motherlode mine. I counted the number of tip-offs I've gotten in the last month alone, and we're talking over 100 emails. Every world seems to have at least 5 to 10 accounts with 25+ million mining experience. And I think they're going undetected because they actually have a lot of stats leveled up, but it's generally the same pattern. 40s combat stats, 20 to 60 in other stats, all with around 700 to 850 total level. Some are probably hacked accounts because they have 40 to 50 Slayer, and I just can't imagine someone botting that to then go bot mining. The scale of this bot farm is what makes it so insane, though. They're all on the second level of Motherlode mine, so they're all kind of bunched up together. It's easy to spot. And there are actually online calculators that will tell you how much GP they've made, assuming they've been at the Motherlode mine since 30 mining. This one right here has 108 mining, 32 million mining XP. So from Motherlode mine, the calculator says they've made about 180 million GP. And the bots are swarming the area in every world. So let's say 150 million GP per bot around here. It's got to be at least 1 billion GP worth of loot per world in every world, which is just absolute insanity. I need your opinion on something. The accounts I'm about to show you, are they bots? I have no idea. I get a tip that there are bots at the Ranging Guild doing the ranging minigame there that insta-log when they see a player. I found a decent number of accounts doing this in a variety of gear, but almost none of them insta-hopped. However, most also didn't respond. That doesn't mean they're a bot though. Most accounts seem to have except Adon, so I was able to teleother them when they spoke to the archer between rounds of firing 10 arrows. Funnily enough, none of them ever reacted to the teleother spell. I actually teleothered one every time it talked to the archer for 5 minutes straight, with no reaction from the account. But they all seem to have different gear and slightly different stats. I reported them to the anti-cheating team and they confirmed all of these are bots, but they're not in a bot farm together. Most were botting via different methods. This is actually super nostalgic for me. This is how I got started and interested in bot busting. I used to make money by luring the archery guards to get Ranging Guild bots killed, back when players actually dropped their stuff when they died. You could make mills. These are some OG clips of it back in the day from some OG players doing the same thing. Basically, you attack the guards, run outside of the guild and around to the back to lure the guards into that archery pen to a couple squares right where the bot script would click. And the bots would click on the guards attacking them and either kill the guards or get killed. Or, if you were lucky, they had auto retaliate off and the script would correct itself and click the target again and the guard would slowly kill them, dropping all of their loot. It was so satisfying. I remember staying up till like 6 a.m. doing this over and over again across worlds. I mean, back then, 5 mil loot felt like you just made 3 years worth of work. Really good memories. If you're wondering if I tried it on these modern bots, yes. And they definitely also do not break like the old bots back in 2008 and 9 did. I got a tip that there are really low-level bots killing monks of Zamorak. Luckily, I was online right at the time. I wouldn't have caught them otherwise, but this is where you do the Priest in Peril quest line. I also saw a naked account run by, so I think these bots are actually just doing Priest in Peril. But what's kind of interesting about it is the ones I found were using poison daggers to poison down the monks of Zamorak and ensure they get the kill. so that they can just do the quest at literally 10 combat. It's hard to tell what they're going to be used for, probably either Canopus Rooftop agility bots or potentially Mortmire fungus bots as well. Anyway, it was interesting to see botters using poison to be able to do quests at lower level and get to botting faster.
Sir Pugger.
It's not every day I get an email talking about a game-breaking bug with exact steps on how to reproduce it. Actually, I didn't get this tip today either. I got it over 5 weeks ago, and the subject line is game-breaking stamina bug. So the tip says there's a way to get unlimited stamina potion in-game, even after logging out, going into instances, dying, everything. Just permanent stamina potion effect, which would be a pretty significant bug and mean no more walking. This person also said they submitted a bug report a few weeks before emailing me, so probably around 6 to 7 weeks ago now, and it wasn't patched when he emailed me. So, let's see if it's still in the game. The bug has to do with the Ring of Endurance, a stamina potion, and the gauntlet. And it's tempting to tell you, but if it works, it's probably not a great idea until Jagex has fixed it. Otherwise, I don't know, we could crash the entire market for stamina potions. There are a decent number of steps to this bug, so if you figure it out with the information I've shown you, nice job. Anyway, after exiting the gauntlet under very suspicious circumstances, the next step is to basically just wait for 2 minutes to see if the stamina effect expires. And I'll start a stopwatch so you can see it too. For context, the stamina potion effect lasts 2 minutes, so if it doesn't expire, it means we have potentially unlimited run. And the 2-minute mark hits, and I still have the stamina run effect. I wait another 5 minutes, and it's still there. I log out, still there. I teleport, go into instances, it's still there. I played for another 5 hours that day, doing all sorts of activities, and at the end of the day, I still have unlimited stamina. So anyway, I guess I can't not abuse this bug now that it's on my account, because I actually can't figure out how to get rid of it. But of course, I'll submit the exact steps to Jagex to reproduce the bug, and hopefully it'll be patched soon. Although this person who sent me the tip-off already submitted the bug report. Hopefully, Jagex gets on it. Although I will say, all this run energy is incredibly convenient. This is a crazy find. Someone sent me a tip, and in it they tell me they found a way to break PvP bots. By now you probably know from previous videos that there are lots of types of PvP bots running at all times now in the wilderness. And mainly, they're made to PK bots in the Revenant Caves, so bots killing bots. Well, this person found a way to break the PvP bots and take a guaranteed 4 mil from them every single time. And he's made hundreds of mils doing it. So, he sent me footage of a few kills. The PvP bots wear swamp bark armor, have a dragon crossbow, occult necklace, tome of fire, and smoke battle staff, so they risk. And here's the setup to break and kill them. It starts with understanding the bot behavior. So, the PvP bot kills a Revenant bot, then banks at the Ferox Enclave, hops worlds, and then runs to the Revenant mid-level entrance in 28 Wilderness by the Hobgoblins from Ferox Enclave. You have to scout them on their way there, and then have an account waiting below the crack to get into the Revenant Caves. Now, they always land on the same tile in the cave, and if you teleblock and then entangle them on the tiles around where they land, and successfully continue to freeze them there, the script breaks. Sometimes they don't even pray, but if you splash or allow them to move too many tiles, the script starts working again. And they risk 4 mil minimum, and this guy tells me there are usually around 20 of these bots running at any given time. And the reason he thinks they break on this tile is they use flowers to move squares when they're frozen, and the flowers don't work on these specific tiles, and he thinks that's what's causing the script to break. Now, it still requires some skill to KO them while they're broken, and keep them on the same tile while doing that. He's using a combination of 1-tick mage and range, and the Ancient God Sword spec to stack damage. The PvP bots are mid-combat level around 85, so a combat level 110 is perfect. But what's crazy is he's killed over 80 of them. This loot pick of 188 mil GP doesn't even include more than 200 mil of loot he's already sold. So he probably made around 400 mil total from breaking these bots. So obviously I had to try to kill them. And this is a semi-tangent, but will come into play later. When I logged into my account, The game was incredibly bugged. I had giant dwarf heads for items. This is the default null value item. Maybe you've seen this bug back before in RuneScape Classic, and most of the game also wasn't loading in. Like, I couldn't even see trees, and my walking animation was broken. I thought it was just RuneLite, but it was happening on the vanilla client for me as well. No idea why. Let me know if you know what's caused this. After trying a few different things, it fixed itself, and I went hunting. Now, I don't have a combat level 110 PKer, just a level 80 pure, so unfortunately, I was splashing a lot on the PvP bots. But when I did freeze them, it was a good sign that they didn't fight back if they were in those tiles. And then one time, I hop in, and this weird bug happens again. I can't even see my own character this time, and every single item in my inventory is the giant dwarf head. And I've been waiting to scout the PvP bot for like 90 minutes at this point, and of course it got away due to the bug, and I was so mad. Ultimately though, it was super hard to catch the refreeze on my pure, and so I messaged the guy who sent the tip off, and he tried, and said the bot owner had tweaked the script and he couldn't break them anymore. The reaction time had increased a lot, and they ran as soon as the freeze ran out. But a few takeaways here. One, you can make a ton of money by messing with bots until they break, and usually there is a way to break them. Two, it's a bad time to be a Revenant bot with whole PvP bot farms out there hunting them. And I'd love to know what the GP per hour is on one of these PvP bots. The botting ecosystem is getting absolutely insane with layers of bots preying on each other. Anyway, this guy was pretty clever and took advantage of something he found, making a lot of gold. What is going on? In World 308, there are hundreds, maybe even thousands of bots walking from Lumbridge to Edgeville. Let's follow them and see what they're up to. They hop the wilderness ditch and seem to be suiciding to each other. And there must be a few hundred just in a few tiles in the wilderness right now. Is it a dupe? It doesn't really make sense to train bots like this. It's way too obvious. But I don't see how it could be a dupe. Also, I had to turn public chat off because they're spamming all sorts of naughty things. So about 36 hours later, I'm still getting tip-offs about them. I hop back on, and now the bots are level 19. Think about the XP per hour. You walk from Lumbridge to Edgeville, punch someone with 10 to 15 hit points, then you die, and then you run back. They must have been running for that 36 hours straight just to get to 19 combat. So, the owner of these bots actually reached out and explained what was going on. They were attempting to crash the world because they were, quote, bored. It didn't end up getting close to crashing from what I could see, but they told me these bots got to level 29 combat before they were banned, which is a little insane. Over 48 hours straight of botting this. And the bots actually looted and banked the bones. I don't know how many bones in total were collected, but the owner sent me one screenshot of 106,000 normal bones. They're currently a little over 100 GP each, so that screenshot alone is 10.6 mil of bot bones. Like, not even just botted bones, like the bones of bots. 106,000. Here's more of an interesting bug that isn't game-breaking whatsoever, but in the mage training arena, in the alchemist playground part of the minigame, somebody's membership ran out. And now in that alchemist playground minigame, you can of course pick up alchables all the way up to a rune longsword. So their membership ran out in that minigame, and they kept the items from the mage training arena, the alchables, and took it out of the minigame. And you might be thinking something like, well wait, that is super game breaking, maybe there's all sorts of ways of making a lot of gold per hour from that. Luckily, Jagex has already experienced bugs in terms of item smuggling out of all sorts of areas. So the item IDs on these items are different, and when this person tries to do anything with the smuggled items, they get a pop-up notification basically saying, however you tried to smuggle this out, nice try, you can't do anything with these items. For the past 2 years, I've gotten multiple tip-offs about high-level accounts running into the Karen dungeon, the catacombs of Karen, past the mutated bloodbells, and then insta-tabbing out, as if there's some sort of broken bot. And the first tip I got was actually just over 2 years ago from now. I tried scouting around back then, but never found anything. And after 3 to 4 of these tips that didn't result anything, finally, 2 years later, one did. Now, I don't think the accounts in this footage are bots, but here's what all the tips were about. A main account kills neckrails and has a Din's Bulwark for special attack, which hits all of them at once in multi, for melee XP. The runners are spec transferring the main so it can continuously spec, and it looks like sometimes they also loot the neckrail drops. Again, I don't think these specific accounts are bots, but most of the tips did say the accounts were just tabbing without doing anything else. My suspicion is some people were botting this
And if the main account killing the necreals isn't there, the bot would just tell you and come back and tell you and come back, which is what the tip-offs were about. It is one of the fastest melee XP methods in the game, and probably decent GP per hour given so many necreals are killed and the main account doesn't have to bank. I have usernames from the tip-offs a few years ago. All 11 account names I've ever been sent were either name changed or banned.
I got some tips about this, so let's break it down. The best time to bust bots is on update days. And here's a good example. There was an update like 18 hours ago. Now, there are like 3 to 10 Revenant bots in every world at the GE just walking all over the place. Clearly, an update messed up the pathing in the script or something similar, because now they seem to just randomly click on tiles around the GE. So on update days, make sure to keep your eyes out for bugged bots. These were bugged for a good 48 hours, and sometimes the opportunity is actually also very lucrative in terms of GP.
I've been getting a lot of tips recently about something weird going down at the Law Rune altar. The first few times I went to check it out, I didn't really see much. Maybe a few bots here and there, but then someone tipped me off and said, just wait in any world for like 5 minutes and you'll notice a weird pattern. And it turns out in every single world I tried this on, which was at least 20 or 30, if you just sit there, you'll notice level 70 to 110s wearing nothing coming through the worlds in a pretty strange way. They either log in next to the altar and immediately teleport out, or they appear under the arch and then log out. I couldn't spot much of a stat pattern other than that many had about 1200 to 1400 total level. I guess they're hacked accounts, but it could also be a bot script leveling up all their stats. More likely hacked, I'd say. But the biggest thing here is, none of these accounts' rune crafting levels are anywhere near high enough to craft maul runes, so they're probably running essence. But I'm not seeing the actual rune crafters because it seems as though the bots are programmed to hop after each run, which is why they're logging in and then teleporting out and hopping worlds when they get to the altar, presumably to the world the rune crafter is in. This is probably an attempt to spread the bots over many worlds to avoid drawing attention to them, given if there were 20 in one world, people would really notice. Now the question is, who is getting bots to run essence for them? Is this a boosting operation run by a botter that real players purchase? Or are the rune crafters other bots? And if they're other bots, why not just level up the whole bot farm to rune craft? That's what every other rune crafting bot farm does. So I started hopping through worlds and quickly came across our first rune crafter called What's Up Bro, with 25 million rune crafting XP and just over 2,000 total left. They insta-hop when they see a player, so I had to go back and literally pull the frame of the video that they appeared in when I hopped into the world. Next one I find, Sweaty Bully, 1900 total, 168 million rune crafting experience. He's like rank 130. Now the next one I find, username D Mills, 2277 total level, a fully maxed account with 30 million rune crafting XP. Back, I found two more, one with 1900 total and 46 million rune crafting XP, and another with 2240 total and 50 million rune crafting XP. So these are pretty high level accounts with quite a bit of rune crafting XP. And the insta-hopping when they see me implies they're probably a bot as well, they're at least using plugins. So I'm guessing it really isn't an XP boosting operation, it's classic gold farming. What a weird way of setting up the farm though. I'm guessing whomever is running the farm has access to lots of hacked accounts and uses the ones with the ability to craft double law runes and equip the robe outfit for another 60% boost on rune production to actually craft the runes, and then all the others just become essence runners. So how much are they actually making in this weird setup? Well, we can actually track their daily XP gains and then calculate how many runes that translates to. Here's the daily XP gain, and it's weird. Limenade, What's Up Bro, and Darklight136 all gained between 38 and 39,000 XP in 24 hours. That's almost nothing. That would take just a few minutes given that they're being boosted so heavily. Then Sweaty Bully got 1 million rune crafting XP in 24 hours, and D-Mills got 4 million rune crafting XP in 24 hours. I would almost think it's a boosting service trying to obfuscate the real XP gainer by using decoy rune crafters who don't actually do anything, hence the 38,000 XP, but it could also be that they were only active for like 5 minutes and then the script broke. I'm not really sure, but it doesn't really make sense to me. D-Mills got 4 million rune crafting XP in 24 hours. Let's calculate how much GP that is. They're getting 9.5 XP per essence. Let's round that to 10 to make it easier. So 4 million rune crafting XP, that's 400,000 essence used. They're crafting double runes, so that immediately translates to 800,000 law runes made, plus the 60% boost from the rune crafting outfit puts us at over 1 million law runes rune crafted by one bot in one day, which is 1/16 of the total trade volume of law runes on the wiki price guide. And a few years ago, 1 million law runes would have been quite a lot of gold, but law runes only traded 120 GP now, so the bot made around 140 mil, which is kind of a lot, but also not that great given it probably had at least a dozen other bots feeding it the essence. I'm still a little bit confused because there are more efficient activities to bot for gold farming than this. My best guess is that whomever is using all these hacked accounts doesn't want to have to level them up and just cherry picks the high level ones to do the crafting and the lower level ones to run the essence. Someone reached out to me and wanted to show me a bug they found with their player-owned house. They couldn't fully recreate it except on 2 specific accounts. So we all hopped in a Discord call and they screen shared with me. So player 1 owns the house that's bugged, and this is their screen. When they turn on building mode in the basement of their house, a ladder in their basement is still usable. And when they go up the ladder, their house looks like nothing has been built in it, which is not true, which you can see later on. I'll speed up the clip here. It shouldn't look empty like that upstairs even in building mode. Okay, so now if he does the same thing but then turns building mode off again, when player 2 comes into the house, it's in building mode for them, but it's not their house. This is their screen, and this might set off some alarm bells for y'all, being able to potentially smuggle an infernal cape to another account, for example. But luckily, it seems as though bugs like this have happened enough in the past that Jagex has a bunch of checks for this kind of thing, and he isn't actually able to interact with anything in the house, basically, in this state. What's weird is no one could recreate the bug between those 2 players specifically. When I join the house, things aren't bugged at all. Can't figure out how they initially got it in this state, but it only works for this specific player even when they recreate it. They can recreate it, but they don't know why this one individual player gets bugged. But anyway, I thought it was at least interesting enough to share with y'all. A new medium level boss was released 2 days ago on January 24th. It's the Rat King Scurious. And like most new content these days, I was sent footage of a bot up and running within 48 hours, which doesn't surprise me at all given that Scurious isn't that complicated of a boss, and the Desert Treasure 2 bosses also had scripts within a couple days of release. So this boss is made for mid-level players, and there's something I love about it that I think was designed also to combat bots. The GP isn't that great. It's like 9k GP on average per kill, and that's partly because the unique Scurious drop, the Scurious Spine, is untradeable, which means it's a lot less appealing for botters to mass bot and absolutely abuse the boss. And the Scurious Spine actually has some pretty cool mechanics that wouldn't be all that useful to a bot anyway. You can combine it with a rune mace, use shortbow, or a battle staff, and the resulting weapon has a plus 10 damage effect on specifically rats. Plus the boss has a 20% XP bonus effect, making it some of the best XP for mid-level accounts. So, the only thing I could potentially see bots abuse this for is to train and maybe earn a tiny bit of gold along the way, but that's a bit more complicated than just botting Nightmare Zone, Alking, Sand Crabs, or any other out-of-the-way training methods where you might earn a little bit of GP. 10 out of 10 update in my opinion. I think Jagex really thought this one through. In a previous video I showed you how Revenant bot farms are fighting each other literally over territory. One coder updated their script to staff bash other bots not in their farm to make them teleport out. You know, when a bot's attacked, it often teleports. And it looks like the other bots have been updated now to not teleport when attacked for a good 20 to 30 seconds, basically exactly the time it takes for the staff bashing bots to realize whomever they're attacking isn't going to leave, causing the staff bashing bots to leave. So, someone sent me a great idea. Since you have so many opportunities to KO the bots in 20 to 30 seconds, get in full DH and just run around one-hitting them before they run away. I tried it out, and it did not disappoint. The bots do use overhead prayers, so if you don't one-hit them on the first try, you have to just attack through Protect from melee. So I started bringing a magic shortbow to switch into, causing the bots to switch prayers, then just switch back to the axe and continually get a chance to one-hit them. They do eat to basically full HP, and they save pretty hard, so you do need the DH RNG to really kick in, but it works. Like, better than any other way of killing these bots. And and they do risk 300 to 500k each, and I killed one about every 90 seconds or so on average, getting roughly 10 to 15 mil per hour. And if you're wondering, yes, I did die to a bot, and yes, I actually died multiple times to multiple bots. And to top it all off, the bots actually looted my gear. I figured they might not be programmed to pick up the PvP loot, so I ran back to loot myself. But I'm ashamed to say, I not only died to a bot, but I was also looted by it. Also, watch out, they actually randomly spec with their magic short bows too, which is how I died the second time. I can't believe I'm even showing you this. I guess it is pretty funny that I got specced out by a bot, but anyway, good luck out there and go one-hit some bots. So someone sent me a tip that the #1 ranked account on the Crazy Archaeologist high scores seems like it's a bot. They're #1 by over 10,000 kills, and they have almost 40,000 total Crazy Archaeologist kill count. And when we look into it, this account is only 1200 total level, but has 50 million magic experience with only kill count in the Crazy Archaeologist. The strangest part is, it's not a good moneymaker, like at all. Whether it's a bot or some insane player, the average Crazy Archaeologist kill is worth 12k, and that includes its unique drops, the Odium and Malediction shards, which are only worth 300k each. And since the account is clearly using magic to get the kills, they're probably using roughly half of the 12k in drops they're getting in runes, prayer pots, and staminas to get the drops. So it's probably closer to 6k profit per kill. So at 40,000 kills, that's about 240 million GP made from this boss. Maybe that sounds like a lot, but at roughly 30 kills per hour, that's over 1,200 hours botted, which is a long time for 240 mil. To put that into perspective, you don't need more requirements to kill revenants, and they'd be looking at closer to 1.5 to 3 billion GP from that, instead of 240 mil. I guess you could argue that maybe the ban rate is a lot lower since no one else is botting this, but if this is a bot, my guess is someone just wanted to bot to rank 1 for the clout, not the GP.
I got a tip with a headline: 100 mil risk bot farm in PK world or bug abuser, which has screenshots of lots of accounts in the high-risk PvP world in full obsidian. The tip says they're risking 10 mil and that the tip-off person killed 10 of them already, and that there's another account not equipping anything other than a set of flowers. Very mysterious and interesting tip-off. Like 12 hours later, I went to check it out. I had been slacking on my emails. No one was there. I decided just in case to check the other teleport spots on the Xeric's Talisman and in other PvP worlds. No one was there either. So I run back to the original spot right next to the entrance to the catacombs, and as I'm running back, I get a glimpse of 2 accounts, and it looks like they were trading. One hopped before I even got my mouse on it. I mean, I didn't expect anyone to even be here anymore. The other took a couple seconds to log out, and I was too low level to attack it. I would have gotten it. It was a combat level 99. And the account had 80s combat stats, 43 prayer, and no other stats. And of course was risking a lot of gold. I'll tell you later why I'm blurring out the usernames here. So they're doing something in PvP worlds, which means they might come back. And I decided to spend the rest of the day scoping the spot and rotating around the other teleport spots in case they were moving around Zaya trying to avoid me. And while I was doing that, I found a couple accounts in Hosidius, both with 200 mil cooking XP. So I quickly leveled up my low-level major a little bit and went to attack them, which was a complete waste of time. That building is not in the PvP zone. But why are there so many low-level cooking accounts with 200 mil XP in PvP worlds? Okay, anyway, I also geared up my main Serp Hugger in case I found those weird obsidian accounts again. I want to make sure I can attack them. And about 6 hours later, I logged in, and they were there. I got the teleblock on the account with flowers off, and then the obsidian account didn't log out immediately, and I teleblocked it too. And it's not the same obsidian account as before either. It's a lower level combat, and the obby account seems to be attacking the account with the flowers. I ended up killing the obby account, but the flower account got away. It's a safe zone just to the west. And the flower account seems to be a 1 defense build, while the obby account has 70s and 80s combat stats and 43 prayer, just like the other account. And the loot, 9.7 mil. And the person who tipped me off said they killed 10 of these accounts. So I went back to camp it out again. They keep coming back even when they die. And at this point, I have a pretty good theory about what's going on. So I went back to see if I could kill more of those obby accounts. But right when I hopped back through the PvP world scouting it out, there was another account there in one of the PvP worlds. I was too busy scouting and I hopped mid-conversation, but then, a minute later, I get a Discord message request saying, hello, with a screenshot of the conversation I just had with that player in-game, and they responded in-game, looking for you, right after I hopped. Pretty strange, right? And before we get into that, Let me explain what I think was happening. Those Obsidian accounts were training, and the one defense account was spam teleporting to avoid taking damage. It's multi-combat there, so you could train, 10 or 20 accounts by yourself at once in a pretty AFK manner. Check this out, I tested it. The teleporter just spams the same teleport on the Xerix talisman, while the Obsidian account just attacks it once, then auto-attacks it as it teleports. All you need to do is menu swap on the necklace so that you can just spam left click it. You don't even need to look at your screen. That account then doesn't take any damage. The teleport animation stops that, which means you could get 20 accounts all attacking it at once. But this is why it's worthwhile. The XP rates are really, really good. I brewed down on an account to 1 defense, and on another account attacked it for like 30 seconds. I maxed out at about 122k strength XP per hour, without even using any prayer. And back in Discord, I asked if this suspicious person was doing all the training on the obby accounts, and they said they may have more information on the matter, and basically told me what I had already assumed, that they were training. They asked that I block out the usernames, but didn't tell me why, and they weren't cheating from what I could see, and I figured I was ruining their hidden spot, so it's the least I could do. Some people don't want their usernames in videos, I guess. Mystery solved. What I'm about to show you is only in initial stages of development. Some botters, I guess, seem to just like to cause chaos, or maybe it's a rival farm owner or a community member who is fed up. Anyway, one of them decided to make a bot that kills other bots. That's right, a PK bot set up in wieldy locations where bots rule. Where bots also use inhuman reaction times to log out before players can even attack them. Let's look at a preview of this bot. Here it is at Lava Dragons. It's just equipping knives, and the bot auto-hops worlds at popular bot safe spots at Lava Dragons, and tick perfectly attacks them as it logs in. I guess this is a good starting location for it because these bots don't run away. When it gets a kill, it loots, and then it hops worlds. Very, very simple script. It banks when it has a full inventory, and it looks like it runs all the way to Ferox Enclave. The guy who runs it sent me a screenshot of a few inventories of loot, 300k, so it holds its own on the money-making aspect of things as well. Now, obviously, I don't support any botting, but if I had to choose a bot to support, I think it would be this one. Like, can you imagine how frustrating it would be for botters if some other botters started making bots to PK and farm their bots 24/7? Then the regular botters would know how it feels to have your moneymaker ruined by bots. The bots that PK bots would also probably profit a lot. Like a rev bot PK bot could probably make 3 to 5 mil per hour. Lava Dragons isn't the only place this script is used at. The Deep Wildy Wine of Zamorak bot farm was a perfect target as well. Whoever runs that bot farm probably uses some sort of prime or discount memberships because when the farm is up, they're on basically every world. And the crazy thing is, you could probably disrupt this whole bot farm with just like 3 or 4 anti-bot bots hopping through worlds. They don't even have to kill the Wine of Zami bots. They could even just attack them once and hop, because the bots run when they're attacked all the way back to the mage bank. So each bot could just cover 20 to 30 worlds in a loop pretty easily and prevent the entire farm from getting much, if any, loot. Or if the script was a little bit more advanced, it could entangle them, secure the kill 100%, and these bots drop stacks of law runes that they're using to telegrab the Wines of Zamorak. So the PKing bot could stay here forever, theoretically, collecting hundreds of thousands of law runes. Plus, if
No, what am I doing with tape?
It takes a lot longer for this
Derp.
Wine of Zamorak
Wrong
bot to
tape.
set up again. Obviously, I'd hope that whatever loot the
Oops.
PK bot got would be destroyed. The bot was even set up at the Runite ore rocks in Deep Wildy. There are lots of level 20 to 40 bots here mining. It looks like some of those run when they're attacked and others don't. If they don't run, it's a kill for the anti-bot bot. But if they run, well, I guess at least the script was disrupted. The one big problem I have with this bot is that it could definitely attack a real player. It doesn't actually know that these are bots. It's just that like 99% of the people here are bots. It would be really funny if the bot asked the target to type something while it was attacking them. And if the target does, it gets off of them. Basically a way to detect bots, and if the script deems it is a bot, kill it. Pretty ridiculous now that there are bots that hunt other bots in RuneScape. PvP worlds have changed, especially after the release of Bounty Hunter. Basically all PKers are out of PvP worlds. The only people really left are deathmatchers. I found something interesting about this. A bot that profits from these deathmatchers. You can usually find looter bots in PvP worlds at Lumbridge and the Great Exchange. And sometimes there are bot high scores for certain bot scripts that show basically the total loot accumulated from the script. Data aggregated from all the users of the script. One such script is a looter bot, and I found the high scores. Check this out.
13 billion GP collected from this script. Much of it seems to be from looting death matchers. 3.6 billion coins, 39 primordial boots worth 1 bill, 10 dragon claws, 5 void wakers, 557 abyssal whips, all picked up by just looter bots, probably level 3s. And the list goes on. You can see they're active in free-to-play worlds too, having picked up 440 Hill Giant Club, 69 gilded 2H swords, and more. I did not realize that looter bots could make so much GP.
As I was scrolling through botting websites looking for new scripts to investigate, I came upon an interesting link posted by one of the botting platform's devs that took me to an interactive map of RuneScape. But not just any map. This is called a web walking map, and it appears to be used to help with script development. If you think of bots as trains, the web walking lines are bot tracks. And once a web walker plugin is built, any script on that platform can call on the web walker to walk bots wherever it supports. As you can see on this map, bot rail lines cover most of RuneScape. And this is just for one botting client. And we can use it to see where bots can go and make assumptions about what bots exist based on where they're programmed to be able to move. All of the obvious locations are covered. You know, God Wars Barrows, Abyss Runecrafting bots, Catacombs of Karen Slayer bots, Porthos Dungeon for the Druids and Red Spider Eggs, popular bot farms. But let's look at the areas I'm surprised by, or at the very least, I've never found bots in. It looks like there may be some activity in the Theater of Blood. There's a trail right up to the entrance. Now, a lot of this is also definitely used for questing, so maybe not gold farming or training bots there, which is why I've never seen bots in some of these locations. For example, I've never found bots at the Piscatoris fishing colony, probably for the quest, but they could also be fishing monkfish up there. Also, Miscellanea is covered. I'm not sure why. Are there really Miscellanea bots? Interestingly, Chambers of Xeric is completely mapped out as well, as is Mount Karulm, so probably Slayer bots accessing that dungeon to farm the Hydras inside or do Slayer. Look at this, Apatoll is completely mapped out, most likely for a Monkey Madness quest bot, but maybe even the Chinchampa range training method there is being botted. Even the resource area near Corsair Cove is mapped out. I tried to find bots there, but it's deserted. Maybe a past bot script was using it. Just goes to show how much of the game is being botted. There's even a line to Scorpia in the wilderness. Multiple tips have come in. Bots hiding in the Varrock West Bank basement. They all have 98 fletching and at least 99 magic. Found 8 in the first 10 worlds I hopped through. For all that effort hiding, they don't hop when you log in, so it's pretty easy to spot them. And yeah, they're just alking down there. Hopefully they're banned soon. I often get tips about this bot farm, but this is the first time I was quick enough to catch and kill them in time. I don't know what the bot farm is for, but waves of bots train using the deep wielding prayer altar. They log out in 1 to 2 ticks, but if you're using knives, you can get them when you hop in. And they drop, you know, up to an inventory of dragon bones. If you didn't have to bank, it would be probably a few mil per hour, but I didn't even pick them up because it's not worth all that running. There must have been at least a few hundred. Some hopping through worlds while I was there so I could just attack them as they hopped in. I killed 6 within 2 minutes. If I had to guess, they're probably something like Red Spider Egg collecting bots, which is a huge bot farm in the Porthos dungeon, and they're probably just getting like 43 prayer to protect from melee there. They weren't on the high scores then, and they still aren't a week later though. Maybe they were banned.
Oh shit, I totally forgot about the speakers.
12:16 a.m. I get a tip with subject line Dead Man Mode GP bug, trying to get it patched so it's not abused. And the tip included a step-by-step guide on how to recreate it, which I promptly did. Obviously just to test it, not to make GP. Basically, to access Deadman Mode Apocalypse, you have to go to the permanent World 45 Deadman Mode and talk to the NPC Nigel in Lumbridge Graveyard, and basically be like, hey, I really want to play Deadman Mode Apocalypse. And Nigel's like, okay, your permanent Deadman Mode character on this world will be erased though. Is that okay? And then you're just like, yeah, I really don't give a shit. Great, so now you spawn into Deadman Apocalypse with a starter kit, and when you open the starter kit, you get an extra free sigil, some of which are only worth like 5 or 10k, others are worth like 200 to 600k. And look, this is handy. You can just use Nigel to teleport to Varrock, sell the sigil on the Grand Exchange, teleport back to Lumbridge, trade the gold off to one of your accounts, and then guess what? You can actually go from Deadman Mode Apocalypse back to the permanent Deadman Mode world and erase your Apocalypse character. Then, you can join Deadman Mode Apocalypse again from the permanent world,
By talking to Nigel again. You get a starter pack again, you get another sigil, you can sell it on the Grand Exchange. I tested it and estimated it was about 4 to 10 million GP per hour, depending on sigil luck and Grand Exchange prices. And that's when I was like, oh boy, it's so good that a botter didn't find this. What an easily bottable exploit. And I sent over a tip off to Jagex about it and got no response. Fast forward 12 hours later, August 28th, 12:33 p.m. I get another tip. Deadman mode, huge bot farm, bots muling and using Nigel to teleport. My first thought was, uh-oh, the bots did know about the exploit, they just weren't online when I was testing it earlier. And when I go to check it out, there are clearly bots all muling to the same account and talking to Nigel. And the person who tipped me off was there too, because it was only a minute or two after I got the tip off. So I chat with him for a couple minutes, and then the mule says, "You're always online, Pugger, LOL." Weird thing to say, like this person wouldn't know whether I'm online in game or not. My private is off. Then the mule says, "You should have been in the Scout Discord, LOL." And that rang a bell. The Scout Discord was a Discord I'd been invited to that had some people group PKing. It had some Scout bots and some PvP client cheating. I'd hopped into the server and talked to a few people who were showing off PvP cheats, but ultimately didn't make a video about it and left the server. Long story short, I knew this guy. I guess when you've been doing this as long as I have, you've talked to most of the major players, so when something is being exploited, 10 to 1 odds I've chatted with the people doing it. Anyway, the bot farm shuts off in front of my eyes. But I immediately messaged the person who had invited me to that Scout Discord, and he said he recorded the whole operation and will show me eventually. The next day, the exploit was patched. Jagex never responded to my tip, and I'd gotten a few more tips in the meantime that said they'd sent it to other people and Jagex, so they probably patched it from a community tip-off. Anyway, this guy tells me everything since it's patched, and sends me footage of the bots. Literally 2 minutes into Deadman Apocalypse's release, the group found the exploit and started botting it on a few dozen accounts. In the first hour or so, there was no market for sigils yet, but you also get 5k cash from the starter pack, so they started just botting that. 30 minutes into Deadman mode, the mule had 1.1 million GP just from trading over the 5k GP, which is a big cash stack for being 30 minutes into an absolutely brand new world. In this clip alone, the mule gets traded 125k in less than 3 minutes. And that's only when the bot farm was starting up. Many more bots hadn't even been created yet. And as soon as there was an established market for sigils, each bot could get up to 600k per reset instead of 5k. And later that first day, when there was an established market on the GE for sigils, each account was making an average of 3 to 13 million Deadman mode GP per hour, depending on sigil luck and sigil prices on the Grand Exchange. By the time it was patched, they had made over 5 billion GP in Deadman mode, split between multiple people in the group. They don't have screenshots of the entire loot in the same place at once because they were swapping it continuously, but one of the group members, just from their split, sent me a screenshot of 2.2 billion GP in Deadman mode and another 13 billion GP in the main game. Now, if everyone in the group swapped, depending on how early they were with swap rates, the exploit would have made them somewhere between 50 billion GP to 200 billion GP. All I can say is, at least it's patched now, and at least it wasn't in the main game, because even though they're swapping GP over from Deadman mode, the main game GP isn't coming from a bot, it's coming from other people swapping for Deadman mode GP. Needless to say, this is one of those obvious mechanics that a company like Jagex should probably catch before the game mode is released. Now there are accounts running around in Deadman mode with billions of GP. A new bot script has been quietly developed over the past month. A fully automated bot that hunts players and bots alike in the wilderness. And I sat down and chatted with the maker of this new PvP bot. He told me if he can fully perfect it, he's going to run the script with as many accounts as he can get his hands on. Let's start with the basics. When this bot script is started up, it hybrid PKs around the wilderness. If it gets a kill, it banks and re-gears. It almost never dies, but if it does, it can simply re-gear and continue PKing. The example clip here is of it running on a pure PKer with its hunting location set to the Revenant Caves. Makes sense since there are so many mid-level bots there. It gets a kill, it loots the key, banks to re-gear, and repeats the process. Some accounts do get away. Usually if the target is already protecting from magic during the teleblock, the half TB usually runs out. And this is just one of the accounts used to test the script. It has a kill to death ratio of 74 to 5, and that's including early testing. The creator of the script told me that 4 of the 5 deaths were because the script broke early on. One was when a higher level max peer actually outlasted the bot and the bot was unable to escape. So going forward, we're looking at something like a minimum of a 74 KD ratio. It's gonna get better. The bot owner has basic escape tactics programmed in,
basically just teleporting or running when low on food, but they're also implementing freezing the target and logging out under them if the bot is almost out of food, which will likely boost the KD over 100, meaning 100 kills per 1 death. Right now, the script is averaging between 3 to 6 mil GP per hour, depending on how quickly it can find targets. I'm guessing most of the targets are bots. That translates to 8 to 15 kills per hour. Like, imagine coming back 5 hours later, and this bot has racked up 50 kills of other players. If it ran for a full day straight, it would average between 150 to 350 kills per day. It would only take 20 of these bots to take over the Revenant caves completely across all worlds. Maybe 75 to 100 of them to take over every active spot in the wilderness. Now, clips are one thing. I knew I had to feel what it was like to have this bot hunt you to understand how big of a threat it is. So I hopped into the Revenant caves at Pyre Fiends, where the bot seemed to be PKing, and waited. I did also send a message to the creator to make sure the bot was running so I wasn't just sitting there. My account is within 5 combat levels of the Terminator bot, and I wore realistic gear that I'd wear as a PVMer at Revenants. I think that's him. Oh, and I'm venomed already. I think this is the bot. I may have had one tick to teleport before the bot teleblocked me if I wasn't in the Rev Caves, but since I was in combat in the Rev Caves, I would have been blocked from teleporting anyway. And I started taking damage very quickly early on in the fight. The bot changes attack styles based on overhead prayers the target is using. And I'm not the best prayer switcher, but I feel like I got the right prayer up for probably 60 to 70% of hits. It didn't help that I had to spam eat like half the fight. Let's cut back into live commentary. All right, yep, that's it. Wow, look at how quickly it got me. No freaking way! I wasn't even close. 21 Wildy. I'm not good by any means, but still. Since that fight wasn't even close, I got the owner to run it back, but this time I brought a full inventory of brews and anti-venom. And check this out. Halfway through the fight, another PKer starts cheering on the PK bot, saying that I'm definitely the bot. The script maker was watching this all go down and responded, "What if I'm the bot?" Just absolutely ridiculous. I did escape out of the Rev Caves with a little less than half of my brews left. The bot could have followed me, but the owner shut it off. So with a full inventory of brews, you could probably escape this Terminator bot, but it's not realistic or cost effective to bring them if you're PVMing. I think unfortunately very soon we're gonna see a lot of these roaming the wilderness, killing real players. Tip comes in about a new breed of Revenant bots that tries to freeze you while they escape, and they have a full Zorishan switch. Sounds like it's worth investigating, and it took a good amount of world hopping before I found one, but I did find one, and they clearly one-tick full Zorishans and entangle you as they run away, which is semi-effective at escaping. But as these bots advance, I'm guessing they'll get better and will actually freeze and then try to run under you to log out. It's definitely an interesting step to see botters take at the very least. While I was hopping around, I also found this account, FeastCows987, in full Zorishan with an accursed scepter. It seemed very bot-like, a bot username, and it was killing Revenants when I hopped in, and also tried to entangle me to escape. It could be the same script, just a mage-only build. It did end up getting away. I was mainly trying to observe the script's functionality more than get kills. Its stats are also pretty suspicious, with basically just 70 magic and 43 prayer. What are your thoughts? Do you think it's a bot? The more I think about it, the more I think these bot scripts could converge. The PvP bots in the community and the PVM bots in the community could be combined to create a bot that does Revenants, for example, but effectively fights back if you try to kill it. That's the direction we're starting to see this go in anyway. A Discord notification out of the blue from an account I'm not friends with comes in, showing my actual location in-game that I'm currently in. The ping was from 2 minutes ago with the headline, "Sir Pugger spotted." Obviously, I was pretty confused. Like, there's a bot tracking me in-game? The person then tells me they've set up something similar to the Homeless People Network in John Wick. If you don't know the reference, this person is implying they have a bot network that sees much of what goes on in RuneScape. And I asked how long this has been going on. They said years. Then immediately sent me a screenshot of my location pinged to them 5 weeks ago in a completely different spot near Draenor Manor. Now that I think about it, I was looking at free-to-play bots about a month ago in that area. So essentially what they've actually done is added scout bot code to all of their different bot scripts in-game. So whenever I come into contact with one of their bots, they get pinged. But I wasn't special. They did it for multiple streamers and other YouTubers and whoever else they wanted to. Kinda spooky. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. The theme of this video is chaos, and botters are creating chaos across RuneScape. Let's start with the first tip I received. Someone DM'd me on Twitter saying bot owners are now literally extorting players. There are like 100 to 200 LMS bots. Every lobby is full of them. The tip came with a screenshot which shows other bots in the lobby of LMS spamming "wanna break from the bots, add this Discord to purchase some kills on them." So obviously I immediately added the Discord being advertised. And while I waited for a response, I hopped into an LMS world. Sure enough, there were hundreds of level 3 LMS bots. Behind the scenes, there are actually lots of different LMS bots with varying degrees of advancement. The large one we see here, I would rate as like top tier. The movement is incredible. They never hit the attack style you're using prayer to protect from. So if you're praying range, they immediately switch to magic, and they'll even try to spec you out. The first game I got in, I fought the bot and it easily killed me. Later that day, the Discord that was being advertised added me back, and someone messaged me asking if they could help me. I asked if I could ask them a few questions, and he responded, "I'll give you 20 questions, so pick them carefully." This person told me that the process was he accepts payment from people and writes a single command in Discord which controls all of the bots, and that he charges about 400k per kill. And this part makes sense. He says it's added mostly for Ironmen just trying to get items from the LMS reward shop. This day was the first day I'd even seen anything being advertised like this, but the guy said he sold under 300. It's not the primary concept of the bot, but interestingly enough, he says he's just trying to ease the suffering of some people, and I wanted proof. So I said, "Hey, would you give Sir Pugger a few bot kills?" And he actually agreed and showed me the command in chat, suiciding to Sir Pugger 10 times. All of these LMS games have like at least 10 bots in them. So the first game I joined, I spawned right next to a level 3. The bot owner also told me that when players purchase kills, the bots will aggro that player specifically. And the guy wasn't messing around. This bot immediately aggros to me and drops its prayer for me to kill it. And as I was running through another group of players, another bot aggroed to me and then stopped attacking me and dropped its prayer again. There's another LMS kill. It's pretty ridiculous because the bots function normally as well, meaning they're still PKing everyone else in the lobby except for me. While I was watching this player dying to this bot, another bot aggroed me and suicided to me, and then this bot kills the real maxed player while I watch, uses the key to loot the chest, and starts running to the center of the circle, turns around, and suicides to me. And I didn't want to actually use the points that I was getting for free from the bot farm, so I logged out, which means you don't get the point reward. The bot owner cleared the rest of my kills, and I went back in an LMS game, and once again got absolutely destroyed by the bots. So it seems like what the botter was saying was completely true. And then he sent me a screenshot from last year, which has some pretty insane implications. This botter told me that he had made his own custom client, not available to the public. When he originally made the client, he discovered a way to truly make an undetectable bot. This screenshot shows an account with a 10-day playtime and 99 woodcutting, aka the bot was able to run almost non-stop for 10 days straight without being banned. He also claims it was in free-to-play. He shared with me how he actually did it, and it's about how Jagex collects data based on player interactions with the game. But just know that if you tried it now, you'd get banned within 8 to 48 hours. It has been patched. Now remember, if you're at LMS and you see someone advertising that they're selling bot kills, they could easily be scammers impersonating this guy, and even if it was this guy, you're probably just encouraging him to continue botting by buying kills from him. Continuing on the theme of chaos, I got an email on December 21st, subject line Merry Christmas, from an email address that is 69420xdxdxd. It shows a set of 500 of the rewards you get from the Christmas event. Those 500 are worth about 25 mil. I responded, "You're running some Christmas bots?" And he responded, "Anonymous tip, Santa might find himself very busy today in World 301. This person also said you can check the GE later and Falador now. So I hopped into World 301 in Falador, and there were a decent amount of bots, all with 420 and 69 in their username. They were clearly doing the Christmas event. I checked the GE later that day as well, and I didn't find anything. The evening of the next day, I decided to check up and see if the bots were doing anything. This was a weird tip, and I was pretty curious about what might happen. I started in Falador, and this time there were way more bots than the previous day. Probably over 100 in World 301 alone during the Christmas event. I'm just gonna call this guy 69420. I kept messaging 69420, but he stopped responding. But as I watched these bots come in, I decided to follow them after they were done with the event. A steady line of them were leaving Falador and walking to the Grand Exchange. I thought that might be the end of the trail and that they were selling their loot and muling or something, but then they continued on from the Grand Exchange east and all the way up to the Wilderness. It looks like a lot of other people had a similar idea because there were some real players there as well, but the bots also seemed to log out once they walked into the Wilderness. And then someone nearby, Pastly, said stay in the safe zone, hop to World 498. I did, and the bots were all there. And I asked if the other real players around is the bot owner here, because I was pretty sure it was Pastly, and other people agreed. And it looks like Pastly is controlling these bots using text commands. We've seen this before in the Steven bots that are around the game. I don't know if it's the same guy or not, but he tells all of the bots to basically fight each other to the death. And to my surprise, as they die, they actually drop their Christmas item loot. I had a lot of competition picking it all up. There were like 10 other real players doing it as well. But in the end, I picked up 1.2 million GP. It definitely seemed like this was not the first time this guy had done it, especially given the screenshots he was sending me in the beginning of the email chain. Other players around me showed me that they similarly got around 1 million GP from this really weird bot drop party. And I dropped the loot. It's actually a pretty insignificant amount given how much botters make. But the story doesn't stop here. On December 23rd, someone tweeted at me that there was a massive bot farm with variations of the name for 2069 raiding the cupboard in Drainer Village on World 301, which is where I think you can get garlic. I hopped in the world, and obviously incredibly easy to find this bot farm. Hundreds of bots are streaming from the cupboard to the bank. And eventually they take the same route going over to the Grand Exchange, I'm guessing selling the garlic, and then up to the Wilderness. There were some real players there, but this time the botter didn't tell us what world to hop to, so it was a race to see who could find the right world to collect all of the bots' loot when they started attacking each other. My strategy was to filter worlds by the number of players. Free-to-play worlds are very empty these days, and there are so many bots in this farm that the player count would skyrocket on the free-to-play world they hop into. And it seems like I was the only real player other than Pastly, the owner of the bot farm, to find them. They dropped a bunch of cash when they died, so again, I'm guessing they were collecting garlic and eventually sold it. I ended up with 750k, and I traded Pastly, and he showed me about 1 million GP. Once again, I dropped the loot and left. At first, I thought I was incredibly lucky and that maybe I had caught the only 2 times this happened because of all the tip-offs I get, but I received a lot more tip-offs about this happening and people experiencing almost exactly what I did. One of the tip-offs even said that after the drop party, Pastly showed him 21 million GP worth of rares. So I think he's still definitely profiting from this farm. You've probably not really seen or realized you saw the next bot farm I'm going to tell you about. I've gotten 3 or 4 tip-offs in the last month about infernal eel fishing bots. All the tip-offs say these bots log out instantly whenever they see a player, which of course I pretty quickly confirmed. Now, not only do you need a fire cape to enter this area, which I'm guessing they botted, there are fire cape scripts out there, but these bots all have at least 108 fishing, aka about 35 million fishing experience. I did observe one of them smashing the eels, which is what you do when you're fishing infernal eels, and while they're doing that, they don't seem to log out from other players, so we could actually see what the bot looks like. Some of the usernames reported to me in the tip-offs I didn't find in-game, but I still looked them up, and a few of them had 116 fishing, which is well over 50 million fishing experience. It only takes a couple million fishing experience to be able to fish these eels, so it's not crazy to assume that each of these accounts has gained about 30 million experience fishing right here.
Looks good. See if it's working.
Experience per hour here, which means each of these bots has been fishing here for about 1,000 hours. I reported 10 of these accounts to the anti-cheat team over at Jagex. They said apparently the person running this bot farm was actually running 2 other very large bot farms at Solaire and the Twisted and a Runite ore mining bot farm. They told me in total about 100 bots were banned, and the mule for this bot farm seems to sell the gold off almost immediately when they receive it, but it was banned with 2 billion GP on it. Each infernal eel bot every day trades about 2,000 to 3,000 lava shards, 500 onyx bolt tips, and an onyx over to the mule. And across all 3 bot farms, apparently this guy is generating 1 to 1.5 billion GP per day. The anti-cheating team did note that a lot of the bots within these farms were already being banned by them, so we're actually just seeing the bots that are slipping through the cracks. Not accounting for costs, it's pretty safe to assume that this person is raking in about $400 to $500 a day. With basically the removal of the dueling arena, there have been a lot of new gambling bot farms in the game trying to capture all of that lost gambling demand. If you go into World 302 at the Grand Exchange, I saw 8 different
offering gambling bots at the Grand Exchange at once. It looked like they had already all been muted, which is great. And I'm guessing because there's a lot of competition, there are new ways gambling bots try to lure players like you into using them. Let's go over one of them, and it starts with a tip-off. Someone said they noticed there were what appeared to be potentially bots using gambling bots. I quickly found the gambling bot the tip-off was talking about and waited. And relatively quickly, an account named 35Spears767 in what seems to be pretty random gear logged in and gambled with the bot. The account logs out, and a couple minutes later, another account, 90fish113, logs in and does the same thing. Gambles with the bot and logs out. Once again, a minute or so goes by and 68warm2763 logs in and gambles with the bot. We have low sample size here, but they seem to be winning pretty frequently. Now, it's hard to know if these are even bots, but I did see the same accounts log back into that world every few minutes or so in that same rotation, gambling with the bot. So I'm guessing what's going on here is the owner of the gambling bots wants to drum up attention to the bots and so has another bot farm running to basically just gamble with the bots. Unfortunately, it seemed to be working. Plenty of different accounts started gambling with the bot as these other accounts logged in to interact with it. Very sneaky way of maximizing profit. To me, this next bot farm is very creepy. I'll explain why. Lots of people have tipped me off to level 34s in the same gear, a combination of iron armor and myth scimitars, hopping around worlds at the chambers of Zarek Bank. If you just sit in one world at the bank, you'll see them hopping through once every 5 to 10 minutes or so. They all hop on the same tile just southwest of the bank. If you look carefully, you can also see these bots doing the exact same thing at the Grand Exchange. I had my suspicions but wanted to confirm them, so I sent a couple of these usernames to the anti-cheating team, and they said the bots don't really do anything. They stay logged in for 30 to 50 seconds and hop worlds. They don't trade, use the bank, add, remove, or report any players. They do nothing. My suspicion is these are scouting bots for luring groups. They probably have these bots hooked up to Discord, sending usernames and the gear of the people they see. That's why they're hopping around at Chambers of Zarek. Lots of players there are wearing expensive gear so they know who to target. That's just my best guess though. They're potentially doing something else. If I'm right though, it's pretty creepy to think about. A few people are probably getting pinged in Discord with your world location, gear, and username to try to manipulate you into taking your items later. Thank you all for an incredible year on YouTube. I've got a lot of stuff planned in 2022 and I can't wait for you all to see it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and I'll see you all later. Welcome back to another adventure video where I investigate suspicious activity in old school RuneScape. At this point, we all know the Revenant Caves have been heavily botted for years. There are even botter high scores for public bot scripts that show people making dozens of bills or even hundreds of bills from public scripts. I can't confirm that these are accurate though. I'm only saying this now because that's all changing. Jagex just released an update that literally traps all of the bots in the Revenant Cave. Now, if a player is in combat with a Revenant, they have a 2-second teleport delay, meaning you have a very good opportunity to teleblock them. And with the update, I got a tip-off about a new bot farm in the Revenant Caves that I've never seen or heard of before. Low-level bots killing Revenant imps with rune scimitars in monk robes. The first bot I found was actually Skulled. I don't know how that happened, but was also combat level 38. The second one I found, level 33, wasn't Skulled, so I don't think these bots generally skull on purpose. But that's the kind of thing you might find if it's an absolutely new bot farm. There are still kinks and bugs in it that you can exploit for profit. And I exploited these bots. So, I had just scouted one of these monk robe bots. I knew it might be a challenge to kill these on my low-level account. Any account with teleblock wouldn't be able to attack these guys. So you have 1 to 2 spells within that 2-second grace period that just came out to get the bots before they teleport away. Luckily, it seems like a lot of these bots have low HP. Maybe they did the waterfall quest to get 30 attack and 30 strength, keeping their HP low. So, I'm able to 1 or 2 hit them pretty easily, and it's basically a guaranteed 200k if I got the kill. Not only do they automatically risk 100k cash in the Revenant Cave, but a lot of them had way more ether than was necessary. Another reason I think it might be a new bot farm is they don't seem to have a low level of GP threshold where they are triggered to bank. Meaning, if you catch one that's been here for a while, it will have a lot of loot on it. Also, when these bots are attacked, they immediately run to the nearest wall. If they're closer to the west wall, they run west, and vice versa on the east wall. Pretty strange. The goal is to get as much loot as possible without even banking. Before you type out a comment, I understand I don't have loot keys activated and I don't have a looting bag. But as I was absolutely lying lining my inventory with loot, I also realized the bots don't teleport from PKers unless they're being attacked. So to ensure the bots have that 2-second delay on their teleport, you can just kind of wait around and make sure they're in the middle of combat before you attack them. This makes the process much less stressful because you don't have to be super quick when you pop worlds. I guess if I brought some nature runes, I could also basically stay here forever just alching all of the loot the bots were dropping. My first inventory of killing level 30 bots came out to be 1.76 mil. After a couple hours, most of the bots had leveled up enough for my higher level but still low HP mage peer to attack. This peer though has teleblock, and I was pretty surprised because when I teleblocked them, I uncovered more logic in their code that I didn't realize the bots had. All of a sudden, when they're teleblocked, they start using protection prayers and will actually run out of the cave. By accident, I actually figured out a way to very efficiently kill these without them leaving the Revenant cave, because they do have a lot of food on them and it's hard to hit through prayer. It seems like the programmer maybe got a little bit too fancy, because if you're standing within a tile of the bot, it changes to the protect melee prayer. So obviously you can entangle it, stand next to it, but then keep casting spells. I don't know, clearly the prayer system on these bots is messed up. Just another reason to try to find bot farms as soon as they start up, because there might be random problems that you can explore. The bots were leveling up super quickly. I went out to dinner and came back, and one of the bots was even wielding a dragon's sword. I'm not sure why it was still killing Revenant imps at this point. It already had 64 attack and 53 strength, but also didn't have protection prayers. Anyways, I killed it and it had over 400k worth of loot, including a dragon plate skirt. Most Revenant scripts I've seen before teleport away as soon as they hit a certain threshold of loot, usually between 200 and 300k. One inventory on my higher level account, I've got 1.25 mil in the inventory and another 1.1 mil in loot keys. The bots were gone by the next day, but a viewer of mine sent in a super helpful tip-off showing him killing the bots at Revenant Pyre Fiends in the northern part of the Rev Caves. I even recognized the bot's username as one I saw killing Revenant imps. But before I could kill these, basically every single bot in the Revenant Caves disappeared. In the first few days after Jagex' 2-second teleport delay, all the real players were feasting. The bots had nothing they could do to stop us, and I'm guessing all of the botters came to the same conclusion, that they were probably gonna lose money and shut down their operations. It's an end of an era. One final thing I'll share because it was super interesting when I found it. An anonymous tip came
What
in
the
with no
fuck?
subject and nothing really in the body of the email, just a video attachment. I'm not
Yikes.
100% sure this is real because I wasn't able to get my hands on the script itself, but the clip is pretty insane. It shows what seems to be a bot that was built to hunt other bots in the Revenant caves. If we take the clip at face value, it looks like it's killing about 12 bots per hour for 9.8 million GP profit per hour. It's been running for 6.5 hours, and the bot has made 64 million GP. The one thing I'll say though is most Revenant bots I've killed don't risk 1+ million GP each. It's just mind-blowing that this entire cave is full of bots, but not just one type of bot. There's a whole ecosystem here of PKing bots and PVMing bots. What I'm going to show you next is a little bizarre. It starts with a tip-off subject line, bots in Trainer Manor with kit in their username. And the email describes lots of bots stuck at the front door of Draenor Manor. The person who tipped me off said they saw a few dozen bots stuck. Just off the bat, every single free-to-play world had between 3 and 15 of these bots stuck in Draenor Manor. And the average population of the free-to-play worlds was about 100 to 150. So, this broken bot farm accounted for between 3 to 8% of the entire free-to-play population logged in at one time. These must be fresh bots that were questing or something like that, and they got stuck and their code doesn't know how to handle it. Some of them had ghost speak amulets on, some of them had full iron on. None of them appeared in the high scores, and they were all between combat levels 3 to 15. Also, as the tip-off said, and this is very bizarre, every single one of these bots had KIT or KIT incorporated into its username somehow. Sometimes as parts of words or just the standalone word kit. It's almost like a villain in a movie leaving some sort of trace that he was there, a signature of sorts. No, it's exactly like that. It's the botter's signature. But the botter didn't sign a masterpiece here. More like he signed a pile of hot garbage he created, since every single bot is stuck and probably banned by now. But seeing so many free-to-play bots in one place with not that many many total players on free-to-play worlds got me wondering, what percentage of the free-to-play players online at any given time are bots? If I go to all the popular botting locations, count up how many bots there are, and average them on how many bots there are per world, divided by the average population of all the free-to-play worlds, I can get a good estimate for how many bots really make up the free-to-play population. This estimate will definitely be lower than the true number, because I'm definitely not going to find all of the different bot farm locations in free-to-play, and I don't actually know which accounts are bots. I'm only picking out the obvious bot farms. We start with, on average, 2 bots per world at the U trees near the Grand Exchange, 4 bots per world at the Varrock West Mine. Then we have a pretty surprising 5 bots per world at the Oak Trees in Port Sarum, and I even saw some of those weird kit bots in this mix. Remington Mine was absolutely swarmed. Up to 15 bots per world, but averaged out to 5. We have 2 bots per world on average at Lumbered Swamp, 2 at the Varrock Oak Trees chopping oaks, 1 bot per world killing skeletons in Edgeville Dungeon. It looks like they're just training. 3 bots per world at Hill Giants. And I even found a lot of bots doing the Romeo and Juliet quest in Varrock at the exact same time. Again, these are averages. Some worlds I found up to 8 or 9 bots doing the quest, some worlds only 1. We're gonna lowball it and average it to 2. Across worlds, I also on average found about 1 bot at the Grand Exchange. Then on average, 3 bots at Edgeville Furnace. Strangely enough, they were all wielding bronze axes. And on most worlds, I didn't find any bots buying beer in Falador, but on a couple, there were quite a few bots, so we'll average that out to 0.25 bots per world. This was early in the morning the next day, and the average free-to-play world population was only 96. So the rough baseline of bots to player ratio in free-to-play is 31.5%. About a third of free-to-play are bots. But then again, most of these are low-level suicide bots, and Jagex does ban them basically daily. In the past week alone, I've gotten 8 separate tip-offs about an odd group of accounts in Shiloh Village. This group of accounts is all level 21, and there are actually multiple groups of 4 or 5 accounts on different worlds like them. They all have 200 million cooking experience. However, it looks like they're either smithing or crafting something using the furnace. I kind of doubt they're bots. They just have too much experience on very commonly botted things that would get them banned very quickly. And they're definitely not multi-boxing because they bank at separate times. It could just be a multi-logger who likes to level up tons of accounts. But that's not what's interesting about this. When I was looking for these accounts, I found other accounts in Shiloh Village. These accounts were slightly different. They all had the same stats in the 80s smithing levels. 30 attack strength and defense, 31 magic, 26 woodcutting, and in the 80s smithing levels. Also, of course, using the furnace. And I was hopping worlds right as one of the accounts was going to the bank. On the next world, the similar account was also in the bank, and I realized there was a pattern. I'm pretty sure there's a massive multi-boxing operation going on here. One person is controlling dozens of accounts, probably smithing cannonballs if I had to guess. The accounts are synced up, but spread out across different worlds to avoid suspicion. What they could be doing as well is a new trend I've been hearing about, which is to buy super cheap Android phones for $20 to $30 and then use a specific device that allows you to sync up all of the phones to one computer. That one computer's controls all of the phones. So basically multi-boxing through mobile. Anyway, that's just hypothetical, but you can make up to 450k smithing cannonballs these days. In case you live under a rock, this week the wilderness was completely revamped and the willy bosses were changed a lot with new, interesting, and incredibly valuable drops. Great update. But someone commented on a video of mine the day the bosses were released that they found bots at RTO, which is the new lower level version of Callisto. And for the first time ever, I was sent footage of a bot already killing these monsters on the day of release. The boss itself is pretty easy to kill, but it's still insanely quick for a script made to kill a boss in the wilderness within a day or so of the boss's release. And I know the Voidwaker pieces are still going for over 100 mil each. Some people were spending bills on it the day of release, and the wilderness weapon upgrades are still also worth at least 50 mil each. So the bots are definitely going to be cashing out.
since they were made so soon. That may be the incentive to make a bot so quickly. I mean, the boss mechanics are super basic and the rare drops are worth so much. I'm guessing as soon as PKers get bored of camping this area, these bosses will be mass botted if the rare drop prices stay relatively high. Obviously, this isn't like a public bot script. There isn't all sorts of information about the bot on screen, but I did verify it is 100% a bot. Now, there are definitely hidden bots in game I haven't caught yet. Every once in a while, a botter retires a farm and doesn't mind sending me footage of it and the loot they got, since they're not planning on using it again. And that's exactly what happened here. Someone reached out to me saying they retired this bot farm because it had fully tanked the price of the loot it was getting to 1 GP. I mean, these are items that go for between 50k to a million GP. So, what's this bot farm I've never been able to catch? Gnome Restaurant minigame bots. You're seeing footage of one of the bots on screen. The owner has hidden most of the information about it in the footage, but the minigame takes you all over the world delivering food to different places. I've gotten a couple tip-offs about it before, but it's really difficult to find the bots, as in any given world the bot is in one of a few dozen locations and only for a few seconds before it teleports somewhere else. But what about the loot of this minigame, and why did the botter retire it? Well, you can get gnome goggles, a gnome scarf, a drop of 5 grand seed pods, so that's over 500k, mint cakes, and some
Grand
herbs
seed
or
pods, you can sell
At
those?
max efficiency, the bots could make between 1.5 to 2 million GP per hour. Except the rare item rewards aren't traded very much on the GE, but make up a bulk of the profits. So when the botter ran even 5 bots, in a few weeks he was dumping grand seed pods in the GE for literally 1 GP. Some of the collection log progress screenshots indicate one bot got 141 gnome scarves, which is over 70 mil worth of gnome scarves alone. The specific method for the bots to get so much GP per hour, though, involves doing only tasks to get the rare items, and that requires max delivery tokens, so each bot did easy deliveries, then only hard deliveries after the NPCs could be skipped. Also, the items that you need to deliver for the minigame aren't traded very much on the Grand Exchange, so the bots were literally programmed to make the deliveries as well. The good news is, the farm wasn't really scalable, so it was retired. An interesting insight into how botters choose what to bot. Have you guys ever heard of a bond dupe? Some very strange footage was sent to me. Let's unpack it. The clip starts with someone getting traded 600k, which is the difference they need to buy a bond. The bond is purchased, and the player redeems it for membership. Or does he? He doesn't seem to notice the first time he tries and is actively in a conversation. So a few seconds later, I'm guessing he doesn't realize he actually used it and uses it again. But again, the bond doesn't disappear. And that's when he realizes and starts freaking out. Instead of immediately using it over and over to get the unlimited membership he's stumbled upon, he hops worlds to see if it disappears. It doesn't until he uses the bond one last time in a new world and it disappears. The guy who sent me this seemed very nice and genuinely curious as to what happened. He didn't really abuse it, but I can't verify the authenticity of the footage. Jagex did not respond when I sent them the clip and a description. However, something about this sounded familiar, and I searched through the 16,000 tip-offs I've received over the past 2 years. I've actually gotten multiple emails about bond dupes or bonds not being consumed before, and every time I followed up, the senders didn't reply, which is suspicious. Let me know if any of you have ever experienced this. Maybe someone is doctoring footage for attention, but my guess is there are multiple bugs having to do with bonds out there. More background around the footage: this guy's membership ran out at the Woodcutting Guild, and all he did was run straight from Lumbridge to the Grand Exchange, get traded the GP for a bond. That's it. Of course, the stakes are high. An account could have unlimited membership. Maybe it's unlimited GP. It seems like something might be going on. I got a tip about bots in full admin killing monks in free-to-play worlds. Not something I normally spend much time on. None of them are even on high scores yet, and there are also level 5s just standing in a stack in most worlds as well in the middle of the monastery. But then I had an idea. What if I collect all the usernames and just wait and see what these bots are actually for? I mean, there's no way they're made to just kill monks. There's no GP in that. So I actually October 19th of 2022.
Another
That's over
256
3 months
gig.
ago. And let me tell you, many were only banned recently. So I
Tablet
recorded a
only.
bunch of usernames, over 30 of them, as well as some of the level 5s idle. 3 weeks later, I looked them all up. They're all 40 attack strength and defense.
Whatever, this is
but
done
many
now.
also have over level 60 mining. Meanwhile, I also got a few tips about bots in full admin training mining on the 3 iron ore spot just south of the Piscator's fishing village. I go to invest.
investigate, and I'm pretty sure I found the same bot farm, now in Members World's training mining. Everything seems to check out. Another week goes by, I look them all up. Many are exactly 70 mining and seem to have stopped there. A couple accounts are higher than level 70 mining and have some fire making levels. A few weeks more, even the level 5s I saw now follow this pattern: 70 mining, 40 attack strength and defense. So before training on the monks, the bots idled and free to play in the monasteries, probably collecting playtime, I'm not sure. The bots sit on 70 mining for well over 2 weeks, until eventually I looked them up, and all of a sudden, many of them are over 80 mining, and lots of them have fire making levels. Have you guessed what the bot farm is yet? Blast mining bots. 1 to 2 in every world. Many with over 100 mining and 90 plus fire making.
Well,
and
that's the
most have
stream.
over
Thanks for
35
watching.
mining.